Let's check out FuRay Planet's Blade Master Weng from Maestro Union. Let's see what you get. You have the figure Master Weng, an alternate head sculpt, and some different hands, and kind of a mane you can put if you take off the cloak. And here in the other clamshell, you get his hat, a case, some boots, and this bag comes with a little rope, kunai, and tobacco pouch. And it comes with a comic book, awesome art, terrible translations. Let's take a look at the sword case. Now, keep in mind, this is just plastic, and the work that they did on it is awesome. When you open it up, you have his two swords. Now, these two broadswords are beautiful. The detail on them, it's fantastic. But the work that they put on this to make it look old and weathered, especially on the bronze area, it's awesome. Even the fake wood grain on the case. Here we have Master Weng out of the clamshell. This figure looks awesome. The details on him, all through the figure, even the clothes he's wearing. Maestro Union did an awesome job designing this character. He definitely looks very intimidating. I mean, he should, since he is a tiger. But as fantastic as this figure is, I do have some complaints, but I'll get to that here momentarily. So while I'm going over the articulation of the figure, I'm just going to kind of go over some of my nitpicks. And basically, what I don't like about the figure is that you have to heat them up to change some of the hand joints. You get a little piece of paper that advises you to do that when you first open them up. And, it's nice that they do that. But just in my opinion, that's not something that the consumer should have to do. Look at some of the other companies that, have a different way that works when you exchange their alternative hand joints. But the articulation, I'm really digging this character, even though it does have single jointed elbows, but he is a big, chunky guy. I would have liked to have a snarling or roaring head sculpt. The two that it comes with, a stoic and a kind of a snarly face, is cool and all, but come on, this is a tiger character. And tigers roar. So I think it would have been awesome if they would have made one. I know they made one for that Veteran Williams character. But yeah, look at the detail of this figure. It's just very intricate and awesome. This gourd, you have to kind of be careful with it. It comes off pretty easily. So just know that, you can accidentally bump it and it might fall off. But the pipe stays on. It's very secure. This plastic skirt, it's very rubbery, so it kind of gets out of the way for articulation, but it also kind of does hinder some of the waist articulation. I do like how you can customize this figure. You can pull the upper body off the ball joint, and you can take off that skirt piece. Also, the gauntlet and the rings on the arms, you can remove those. And again, with the boots, you can take off the lower legs of this figure and put those boots on. But I personally am not going to do that. I just want to keep as much of the tiger aesthetic on this figure. But I will say, with the articulation and posability of this figure, and it does have a little bendy wire on the tail, so you can manipulate the look of the tail. But I'm really digging this figure, and I'm just having lots of fun with them. Just posing him, checking out what he can do. It would have been nice if he had a more of a thigh swivel here, but again, that's just a little nitpick. And the little top knot on his head can pull out, and I find that easier, especially when you're changing head sculpts, when you're putting it back on. That way it doesn't break. Here's Blade Master Weng standing with his sword case. Now, on the back of the sword case, there is a little peg that you can bring out like a switch, and then there's a little hole in the cape that you can remove and plug in the sword case and have him carry it that way. And you can use a little piece of string that it comes in that little bag, tie it around and make it look like he's carrying it, but I can't do that with my hands. And here we have Blade Master Weng with his two swords. I removed the cloak, and I also placed the kunai knives on the belt. Like I said earlier, this figure is fantastic. I love the articulation and being able to put him in different poses. But again, remind, if you do get this figure, it is a good idea to heat up the joints to change the hands, because if you don't, you will struggle. It will be hard. I tried to do it without heating it up, and it was a huge struggle for me, and I actually had to use a pair of pliers. But once I added some heat, it was a lot easier to change the hands. And for size comparison, I have him standing next to G.I. Joe Classified Scrap Iron and Star Wars Black Series Jackson. See how he towers over them. And here I have him standing next to Gladiator Superman and Gladiator Batman from McFarlane, and he is still much bigger than those two. And here he's standing next to Street Fighter Fei Long and Marvel Legends Origins Hulk. He definitely towers over Fei Long greatly, and he's just a little bit taller than Hulk. And at the end of the video, I'll even show some pictures I took of Weng. So at the end of the day, this figure I'm totally in love with. For the longest time, I just couldn't put him down. Just posing him up, checking him out, basically playing with him. And I haven't done that in some of my recent acquisitions in a long time. But I definitely recommend this if you do like something other than Marvel Legends or Star Wars or G.I. Joe or Motu. He definitely would fit in with Mythic Legions. I think he would even fit in with Motu Revelations. But yeah, definitely check him out if you can. Simo says, collect what you like, be awesome to one another. Till the next one, 'nuff said.